Back to the question of rituals and process. Do you have anything when you like audition or anything like that? Any pro tips or things you always do or stuff like that?
Jesus. For an audition, well, if it's a comedy audition, I will. I'm assuming that you don't have enough time for the audition.
Okay,
that's most of. Auditioning is like you get the stuff and you're like, oh my God, I would blow this out of the park if I had more than one evening to work on it. So what I do in that situation usually is try to figure out what the joke parts are, what the funny things are. Like if I have a limited time to get off book, even if I can't get off book for the phrases that need to be and that there needs to be some kind of like rhythm or meter or musicality or just like the funniness, like you can't fuck up the line.
Right.
I'll try to figure out what those are, like sort of like do triage for the comedy.
Sure.
And then, the other stuff will be the stuff where I'll care less about having my head on.
That's smart.
Looking down. What other thing? I knew that you were going to ask questions about this, yet I'm completely unprepared.
It's fine. You'd be shocked how many people don't have rituals and process, but I think everyone does. They just don't consciously think about it when they do it.
Yeah.
So it's not at the forefront of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, then there's the whole mental game, because I do think that one of the best. If you can get yourself to like a place of confidence and relaxation, that's a lot of it.
Yes.
So for me, like I feel like everybody has certain ways that they can psych themselves up or psych themselves out.
Right.
Of an audition, especially if you're testing for the final auditions where like right before you audition you have to sign paperwork for the amount of money the obscene amount of money that you would make if you got it, and you're sitting in a room with 4 other people that are all vying for the same thing, and the tension is incredible. And just for auditions in general, I think like the key is to not want it enough.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, I mean, it's such a weird thing. It's such a Zen thing because, of course, you want it and you want to do it well and you have to care.
Right.
But at the same time, you have to kind of not care because the caring will get in the way of the actual work. So I try to cultivate a feeling of taking comfort in the fact that it's not about, I don't even know how to articulate this, but just like I try to cultivate a feeling that it's not this audition that you're on. There will be more auditions. So like just being thankful for the opportunity to go into a room and work with whoever the people are and have a good time, bearing in mind that they want to cast someone that they want to work with.
Right.
So if you're all in your head and nervous and stuff, it's going to make them uncomfortable.
Right.
So if you remove the part about like needing to get the thing and just being thankful to be in a room with like-minded other, people trying to make comedy or whatever, drama or whatever the thing you're auditioning, and just like make it one of those like the journey itself is the reward kind of thing. And I know I'm saying this and it's total bullshit because when you need a job, you need it, when you're there, it's because you want a job and you need a job. And it's like, I don't know, like I can't tell you how to cultivate that feeling,
Sure.
but that is the goal, is
That's
to
what
be
you
able
try to
to,
do.
yeah. My best auditions have always been like when I have just booked something else and the pressure is off.
Sure, that makes total sense.
Yeah. Or there've also been times where I've come around like the other way where like I remember once I was auditioning for something and I was getting in my head about like I had over rehearsed it and I was like, okay, you got to remember this and do that, and I have to pick up the thing at the and just sort of freaking myself out, wanting to do well.
Yeah.
And I was like, I felt my physical tension, the tension,
right,
mental, and I was like, I knew that I was about to fuck up this audition out of nerves. And I sort of like went the next step, and I imagined the car ride home after I had fucked up the audition that I hadn't yet gone on into, because there have been, I'm sure you know, and anybody who's been auditioned done that thing where you're on the way home after you fucked up an audition, and you're like, it's in a way, it's like transcendental. You do the thing,
so
in your car, so unbelievably relaxed, knowing that there are no more stakes because you fucked it up. And if only you had this level of relaxation. And so like, I have also been able to like sort of imagine that right before I go in. You know, that's sort of the liberation that comes with fucking it up if you're going to be...
You're trying to, like, manifest it.
Right.
That's great.
Yeah, manifest the... So, like, I've tried... That's what I mean. It's, like, it's such a head game. Like, I've tried... it's just sort of cultivating the feeling of no pressure.
Right. I really like the idea of the journey, enjoy the journey. I feel like lately I've been trying to appreciate more when I get an email that says I have an audition. Because it's like hundreds of people submitted for, if not thousands in the commercial world. And it's like, that's a win in and of itself. You should be happy you got that. That should be one of the biggest thrills an actor gets every week or whatever.
Yeah, it's true.
So I like that idea of enjoying
I know that, but I know what you're saying. It's like, so often I've gotten a thing like, you've got an audition, and you're immediately like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
I have to do all this work now.
Yes.
There goes my weekend. I'm going to go. They're going to be eating their lunch and not paying attention. I hate my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if you like have a busy week already. You're like, fuck, now I got a couple pages I got to memorize. But you got to appreciate that. If you don't, then you're not going to get to the mindset that you talked about.
Yeah.